On the outskirts of the national capital today, black limousines with darkened windows converged on a hotel where private security guards imposed ironclad control. The limos carried royalty, political power brokers, and industrial titans to a secret meeting that will last all weekend. It's known as the Bilderberg Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Canada today to stand up against the Bilderberg Group that is attempting to get rid of the sovereignty of the United States. The truth of your world government has now been exposed. We know you are ruthless. We know you are evil. To David Rockefeller, to the Rothschild representatives here, to the Queen of the Netherlands, to all of you, we tell you, you are not our queens. You are not our kings. You are not our gods. We do not belong to you. We are not your slaves. We stand as free humans, have stood since the beginning of time against the strong men, against the thugs, against the bullies. We will defeat your world government. We will defeat world taxation. We will defeat your control grid. God is on our side. I stand before the creator of the universe, and I ask the creator of the universe, as our founding fathers did in 1776, to lead, guide, and direct us, and to give us the power and the foresight and the understanding and the will to stand against your entire agenda, including your final plan of world population reduction of 80% that Henry Kissinger penned in 1973. Why do you put mercury in the vaccines, sodium fluoride in the water? Why? Why do you put cancer viruses in the vaccines? Why have you used depleted uranium now in 4 separate nations? You're arrogant. You have the sickness that elites have had throughout history in their literal and, in some cases, figurative ivory towers. You believe that you're invincible. You will and you are failing now. Your New World Order will fall. Humanity will defeat you. The answer to 1984 is 1776.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
They're planning your demise right in front of your eyes. They're just distracting you. It's just a matter of time.
You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it.
We're in a lot of trouble! But the largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world. Who knows what shit will be made of the truth on this network?
There are dots like banking, government, 9/11. When you connect the dots,
we have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
The Patriot Act, Homeland Security, the Military Tribunals Act, and other legislations are all completely and entirely designed to destroy your civil liberties and limit your ability to fight back against what is coming.
And then just like that, all of us are going to be extinct because we did nothing about it.
Out of these troubled times, our 5th objective, a new world order can emerge, a new era, freer from the threat of terror, stronger in the pursuit of justice, and more secure in the quest for peace. An era in which the nations of the world, East and West, North and South, can prosper and live in harmony. 100 generations have searched for this elusive path to peace, while 1,000 wars raged across the span of human endeavor. And today that new world is struggling to be born. A world quite different from the one we've known. A world where the rule of law supplants the rule of the jungle. A world in which nations recognize the shared responsibility for freedom and justice.
We must not let our rulers load us with perpetual debt. We must make our choice between economy and liberty or profusion and servitude. I place economy among the first and most important of Republican virtues, and public debt is the greatest of the dangers to be feared. It is incumbent on every generation to pay its own debts as it goes.
We must have a central bank to secure this country's finances.
If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their money, first by inflation and then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of their property until their children will wake up homeless on the very continent their fathers conquered.
Jefferson, you're mad. This country will have a central bank.
Who's that? America's first Secretary of Treasury. Alexander Hamilton? Not for long. Aaron Burr, Thomas Jefferson's vice president. They didn't take too kindly to our first Sec Treasury. The first attempt at a central bank only lasted 20 years and was shut down. But the bankers tried again against Andrew Jackson.
You are a den of vipers and thieves. I intend to rout you out, and by the eternal God, I will rout you out.
After surviving an assassination attempt, Jackson finally defeated the bank in 1836. When asked what was the greatest accomplishment in his life, Old Hickory replied,
I killed the bank.
And those were his last words. I killed the bank. And with real money backed with real gold, our country experienced the greatest boom in any nation's history. Oh, it was beautiful. Wow. But the bankers, greedy for more power and wealth, were concocting their most ambitious plan yet to once and for all take control of the finances of the United States.
I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like presidential talk. Would you ever?
Probably not. Probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. But I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country. We're really making other people live like kings, and we're not. It's a joke.
Trump has stood consistently and alone against the establishment for decades. Trump's stand has been in opposition to unfair trade that is taking our jobs and destroying our economy. 35 years ago, he paid $100,000 for an ad in the New York Times to oppose the trade and war policies of the multinational corporations, the globalists.
I will have more than $100 million put in of my money. I'm not taking money from all of these different corporations like she's doing. She used the power of her office to make a lot of money. Why don't you put 10 or 20 or 25 or $30 million into your own campaign? It's $30 million less for special interests that will tell you exactly what to do.
You've already been disenfranchised because you look at what's going on. Because if you think about it, the economy is rigged, the banking system is rigged, there's a lot of things that are rigged in this world of ours, and that's why a lot of you haven't had an effective wage increase in 20 years, folks, and we're going to change it.
He's willing to fight. He has opposed the Republican orthodoxy of so-called free trade and of being the world's policeman, and he has said it to their face. He's called for ending NAFTA, for auditing the Fed, for releasing the secret 28 pages of the 9/11 report. He will stop TPP and TTIP and stop the exporting of jobs. Neocons and those who want to provoke wars for profit for the military-industrial complex are his biggest
You
critics.
said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing. This country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage.
For all his bluster, he has long criticized American militarism and confronted Jeb to his face on the lies about weapons of mass destruction that were used to start the Iraq War. But most of all, he's not part of the club. Globalists hate him, multinational corporations hate him, the political establishment hates him, and the warmongers hate him.
We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. The nation-state remains the true foundation for happiness and harmony. We will never enter America into any agreement that reduces our ability to control our own affairs.
Somebody who was able to take whatever assets he had and build it into a fortune, which he then dedicated to creating something better for others, namely America. He doesn't need the power, he doesn't need the money, he doesn't need the accolades.
It's not about the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. It's about the people of America.
This election will determine whether we remain a free country in the true sense of the word, or we become a corrupt, banana republic controlled by large donors and foreign governments. These WikiLeaks emails confirm what those of us here today have known all along. Hillary Clinton is the vessel, a corrupt global establishment that's raiding our country and surrendering the sovereignty of our nation. This criminal government cartel doesn't recognize borders, but believes in global governance, unlimited immigration, and rule by corporations. It also believes in no borders. Just come on, folks, come on in. Speaking in secret to a foreign bank, again, just revealed. Hillary Clinton said, my dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders. Well, there go the rest of your businesses, and there goes your country, folks. A Trump administration will secure control, defend and protect the borders of the United States. Behind closed doors, when she thought no one was listening, she pledged to dissolve the borders of the United States of America. No borders. You don't have borders, we don't have a country. WikiLeaks has given us a window into the secret corridors of government power, where we see a former Secretary of State announcing a desire to end forever the American independence that our founders gave to us and wanted us to have. This is what our new future will look like. I'm going to lower your taxes very, very substantially. I'm going to get rid of massive amounts of unnecessary regulation. All of these regulations in your business and in your life. I'm going to unleash American energy. I'm going to repeal and replace Obama. I'm going to appoint justices of the Supreme Court who will follow the Constitution. An explosion of new business and new jobs will be created. We will turn America into a new magnet for new jobs, and that means jobs in our poorest communities. We're going to put our great miners and our steel workers back to work. Everything that is broken today can be fixed, and every failure can be turned into a truly great success.
Globalists hate him, multinational corporations hate him, the political establishment hates him, and the warmongers hate him.
I'm going to rebuild our Israeli military and take care of our vets who are treated so badly.
In many cases, our vets are treated not nearly as well as people who come into our country illegally. I'm going to save your Second Amendment, which is under siege. I'm going to stop illegal immigration and drugs from pouring into our country and totally poisoning our youth and others. And yes, we will build the wall will be built. And just in case you're worried about who's going to pay for it, Mexico will pay for it. If you look at the trade deficit we have with Mexico, it's massive. The wall is peanuts compared to what we're talking about. Mexico will pay for it. And I'm going to renegotiate our disastrous trade deals, especially NAFTA. And we will only make great trade deals that put the American worker first and put the American worker back to work. That includes our miners and our steel workers. We will rebuild our roads, our bridges, our tunnels, our highways, our airports, schools, hospitals. We'll rebuild everything. American cars will travel the roads. American planes will soar the skies. And American ships will control the sea. American steel will send new skyscrapers into the clouds. American hands will rebuild this nation. And American energy, harvested from American sources, will power this nation. American workers will be hired to do the job. We will put new American metal and new American steel into the spine of this country. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. And we will make